Good morning. We are here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Winnie, stop and wait, please. Winnie is taking off without me. And we're in a park, I think, called Hillcrest Park, which is surrounded by trees, big Pacific Northwest trees, really pretty. And I thought, since I was walking Winnie, who's Winnie Pooh, hey, who just wants to go, that this would be a good opportunity to practice a quick walking meditation. Look at these gorgeous trees. Huge. So I've talked before, and a sign that there's coyotes in the area. I've talked before about how mindfulness is a way of life, and so the invitation is to be able to bring your formal sitting practice into your day informally, because this is one of the big misconceptions about mindfulness is that it's just about paying attention. And there's a little bit of truth to that, but it's a lot more than that, as I've explained in some of my other videos. You can check those out on YouTube. The 7-Minute Mindset series is a great sort of primer on mindfulness basics. But anyway, bless you. The invitation with having a formal practice where you, it's sort of like going to the gym, you train your mindfulness muscle to get ready for the marathon of life, right? The informal practice throughout the day. And there are also different ways that we can practice mindfulness formally so that we can understand the different ways that we can bring it into our day. And so what do I mean by that? So it's not, for example, just when you're driving or doing dishes that you're paying attention. It's that you are fully present in your body, paying attention to the breath, paying attention to, Winnie, this way please, paying attention to what sensations you might be experiencing, noticing the thoughts that you're having about what you're doing or engaging in that moment, noticing what emotions, what physical sensations might be coming up for you in the moment. So, Winnie, come this way, please. Winnie's a reluctant meditation participant. So, we're engaging in these activities more fully because we are connecting fully to our body, our breath, our physical sensations in the moment, which is where presence is. I talked in a post yesterday about finding paradise within ourselves. So this is how, even in the midst of doing something really boring or really tedious, if we can learn to be curious about the present moment, invite in this curiosity of what's going on for us in the present moment, even when it's hard and challenging, we can realize the life that's there, even in the boring and mundane and the challenging and difficult. Winnie, come on, let's go. So let me take you through a quick walking meditation, which is something you can do by yourself, with your kids, with the dog. There, see, now that's presence. Just fully connecting to what you feel in the moment. Okay, Winnie, come here. Let's show them walking meditation. So I wish the camera would flip around, so I'm gonna have to keep flipping it around myself. The point, first of all, of walking meditation is not to go anywhere. Let me rephrase that. It is not the point of walking meditation to get somewhere. That's not the point. The point of walking meditation is to be present, focus on the breath, focus on your body as it is moving slowly. Focus on each footstep the feeling of each foot on the ground as you're walking, the coordination of all of the muscles in the body to be able to get you to move. Now, if you are somebody who has mobility issues, if you're in a wheelchair, you can still do this kind of moving meditation. Winnie, come here, please. Thank you. In whatever way your body is able to move, use that as the substitute for actual steps. So as I'm talking about taking a step in this meditation, know that that means that maybe it's your hands on the wheels of the wheelchair. Maybe it is your arms and your hands slowly moving the walker forward, and then you're taking a step. Or if you are just sitting, maybe even just picking up your foot, placing it on the ground, picking up your foot, placing it on the ground while you're sitting. Okay, so if you are limited in your mobility for any reason, you can adapt this meditation. So with walking meditation, we're going to start out by standing. If you can do this barefoot in your own grass where you know there aren't any sharp objects, that's great too. If you're on a public walk, please don't go barefoot. So stand first, just plant your feet on the ground, maybe lift up one foot. Notice what it feels like to have your feet planted firmly on the ground, and kind of draw yourself up from your feet through your spine all the way to the top of the head, like a string is pulling you up. Standing tall, maybe giving your shoulders a nice little roll to kind of invite the shoulder blades to wiggle down the back a little bit when he's demonstrating to you. And just ground yourself for a moment in this sensation of standing. And then take a few deep inhales and exhales on your own. On the inhale, rooting deeper into the ground. And on the exhale, settling into the body a little bit more. And as we begin to walk, we're going to go about 10 paces forward and 10 paces back. Again, we're not trying to get somewhere. We're trying to notice the act of walking and what that's like for us today. Tomorrow, it might be a little different. You may look like a zombie because it's really slow. That's an invitation to work with what the thoughts are around what other people might think about you. So as we start out, it's a very intentional tuning in to the slightest little movements. So the movement of picking one foot up as the heel of the foot lifts, noticing how the whole leg engages the core, maybe even upper back, to move one foot forward and start to move that one foot forward. And then as you're placing it down on the ground, heel, arch of foot, ball, toe, noticing how the leg in the back starts to move too. And now that heel has lifted up. Maybe the balls of your feet are on the ground and your toes are on the ground and your foot is starting to slowly lift up. And then your right foot begins to lift up and move forward. And notice how the left leg balances you to move your right foot forward. There's a step. So being as curious as you can about everything that's going on in the body, just for you to take one step. So again, lifting the left leg, the toes peeling off the ground, moving the foot forward, placing the heel, arch, ball, and now the right foot lifting, peeling off the ground, balancing on the left foot, placing the heel, arch, ball. Winnie, come with me, please. Makes it easier if the dog isn't pulling in the other direction. And continuing that lift, move, place. Lift, move, place. You can go even slower. That's about as fast as we want to go. And do that for about 10 paces or so. Don't get too wrapped up in the counting. You're not trying to go very far. And even slowing it down, like microscopic movements. Like right now, I'm kind of just balancing a little bit. It's hard to do as the left foot wanted to come forward, but notice how the right leg is kind of wobbling, the ankle's wobbling. If you're starting to lose your balance, you can go a little faster. Okay, we don't want you to fall over. But that lift, move, place. Winnie, walk with mommy. Thank you. Lift, move, place. This is not Winnie's pace. Lift, move, place. You can play with this a little bit too. And maybe for one trip down, you focus just on the left leg and left foot. In its full lifting, moving forward, placing heel, arch, ball, balancing, wiggling, supporting, and then starting to shift and lift the heel, arch, ball, toes, move, place. So you can focus just on one leg down, and then when you turn around, so here's how we can turn around mindfully. What you see, Winnie? Come over here, please. Come here. When you stop to turn around, again, ground in. Notice the sensation of the surface beneath you. And then slowly we'll go toward our left. Pick up the left leg. Notice the bend in the knee. And rotate the foot slightly 90 degrees. So you're just turning 90 degrees to your left. And notice the body wanting to turn. And then the right leg picking up, moving to meet the left. So now you're facing 90 degrees to your left. And then we repeat that, so we do a full 180 turn. So you pick up again with the left, turn it 90 degrees, move the right leg to meet it. Pick up Winnie's leash. And then head back the other direction. And now if you want to focus on just the right foot, focus on that. Again, grounding in, starting, lifting the heel, the arch, the ball, moving the right foot forward. Noticing how it balances you, supports you, and then it starts to pick up and move forward again, placing down. And you just do this back and forth a few times. Remember also to check in with your breathing. So you might notice as you're focusing very slowly on this very intentional moving of the feet that your breath gets kind of shallow, which is normal when we're going about our day, informally, just doing the dishes, driving, working, walking, running, whatever. Well, running, your breath might be a little deeper, whatever it is. And see if you can maybe focus on the breath one time down and back. So that don't close your eyes, which is what I just did, lost my balance. So that you are sort of syncing up the breathing to the steps. So maybe on an inhale, you're lifting and moving and placing, and then exhaling. So you might have an inhale for one foot, an exhale for the other foot. So mindful walking can be really fun if you can just have a sense of humor about it. Know that you're going to look silly. You might kind of lose your balance. Winnie, this way, please. That there's a lot to play with here. Play with focusing on one foot, one leg, one hip at a time. Play with alternating just on the lifting of each leg. And then play with alternating the placement of each foot or leg. And then play with your breathing. How does your body want to breathe? Noticing how your body might want to sync up with your steps. I was inhaling on the lift, exhaling on the placement. So this is a really great invitation to get super curious about the subtle movements of your body in whatever capacity you have. And if you are someone who doesn't have any mobility, even imagining connecting to the muscles in the body that you would envision moving can be a really powerful exercise. Imagining how the body might want to move. So I invite you to go out today and for 5 minutes in your backyard or on a trail someplace, mindfully walk. Just maybe up and down 10 paces, maybe 10 times, 5 minutes, whatever it is, and see what you notice. And then see how you can pull this into your day when you catch yourself rushing between meetings or zipping around the house, whatever it might be. See if you can bring this in informally by maybe slowing down and taking 5 more conscious steps, 5 mindful steps, or 2 mindful steps of lifting, moving, placing, lifting, moving, placing, connecting to the breath. And then if you want to continue zipping around, zip around. Okay, Winnie, let's go this way. Thanks for tuning in from Vancouver. We are hitting the road tomorrow and we'll be pretty off grid. Well, I don't know when this is posting, so, but we're going to be off grid for about 4 days. Good time for me to do that anxiety meditation from the post that I haven't yet posted, but that will be up by the time you see this. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Thanks.